Hi, I'm Miles. Today we're going to talk about the different ways to measure trigger pull weight, why we do it the way we do, and why we work so hard to provide smooth, clean triggers on every gun we work on. The first way to measure trigger pull weight is with a tool like this. They are inexpensive and very common, but they can be very inaccurate. We do thousands of trigger jobs a year, and we need to make sure that each one of them is both smooth and safe. That's why we use NRA trigger weights, which are the industry standard for trigger measurement. NRA trigger pull weights have their roots in NRA match shooting, where minimum trigger pull weights are strictly enforced. The way that you use these is by gently picking up the weights with the trigger of the pistol. Right here we have 4 pounds, which is our standard for a Beretta 92 or PX4 with the standard hammer. If it picks the weight up, then we know that the trigger is above our advertised 4-pound goal and we need to lighten it. If the trigger breaks, then we know that the trigger pull is in our target range. These trigger pull weights are very precise, but if you want to know exactly how heavy the trigger pull is, it can be time consuming to keep adding weights until your trigger breaks. That's why we use this trigger scanner for all of our R&D. This scanner gives us incredibly detailed information on each trigger pull. The graph shows not only the overall trigger weight, but also how that weight changes throughout the pull. We can see stacking, roughness, and a lot of other things that quantify the trigger pull. We are so particular about smooth, light, and consistent trigger pulls because we want you to have a gun that is predictable to shoot. A lot of people say that double action, single action guns are hard to shoot. That isn't always the case. Many DASA guns come from the factory with triggers that are long, heavy, crunchy, and inconsistent. But we pride ourselves in being able to refine those trigger pulls into something that actually makes the gun easier to shoot while still being completely safe and reliable. If you have more questions about DASA, the trigger work we do, or anything else at Langdon Tactical, please check out our help center at langdontactical.com.